I've finally done it.
That is ridiculous. Banjo bolt in the back there. This side is actually quite easy. It's actually quite easy to get in there. Got loads of room to play about with. In there, not so much. Next, I need to be cleaning up the areas where the gaskets go, because these half moons I'm putting in need to have a nice, clean surface to be mated to. Now that those areas are nice and clean, we can try and put these in. So, I think the idea is to use something like this, high demand blue. What we do with this is cover the whole thing, I think. I think that'll give it the best chance of sealing properly, won't it? And then it gets pushed in to the space here. There we go. I'm just going to wipe off the excess because we don't need that on there. And then that one should never, ever, 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 ever have to be done again. That is that aluminium seal in place. And now for the other side. I've just had the spark plugs arrive for the Jaguar XJS, so we're going to get those in and then we can crack on with the rest of the car. As you can see, these are the ones I went for, some NGK V-Power. There they are, TR5. I read on the forum that some people were using these instead of these ones here, which are BR7 EFS. And considering that those went a bit funny, which obviously isn't the spark plug's fault, because there's obviously all of them, something's gone wrong. But I thought, I'll give this a go. Just look at the difference between them. As you can see, the gap difference is quite a bit. For the V12, I've read that it's supposed to be this tiny number here, 0.025. Yeah, it's nearly 0.34. It's definitely 0.30, and as so I'm just going to very carefully put it on here, give it a push. There you go, that is perfect. I have also left the worst spark plug area for last because it is in behind this AC compressor. Move some of these wires out the way. So I'll just put it in, just doing it by hand, starting to tighten up. And so with all the plugs in, I will torque those up, and then I need to get these cam covers back on, which means I need to get the cam cover gaskets that I got from Simply Performance Jaguar on this car. So I just spoke to Ben from Simply Performance Jaguar, and he says that you don't necessarily need to seal the cam cover gaskets here, but he said that if I'm a bit worried about it, that I could do it. So for peace of mind, I'm going to do it because I don't want to have to redo all of this if they leak. And now that that cam cover is back on, this is the finishing touch. I think that will do nicely. As you can tell, I'm not a perfectionist. I'm a doer when I can be bothered to be. Oh, it looks good, doesn't it? Yes, I didn't paint the nuts and bolts. I would say it's because I wanted it to be original to a point, to contrast against the new. But the real answer is that I forgot. So we're gonna just deal with it. And there we have it. Don't they look absolutely great? The cam covers are back on. We've got the stickers on. Yeah, it's not perfect, but I'm actually really, really happy with that. Considering that I'm not a perfectionist from a distance, that looks unbelievable. Next, we need to get the intake manifold gaskets sorted out, which are these ones here. That's pretty cruddy still, so let's do that. These old ones are actually not the same, I don't think, as the ones I've just received, because these are single units. I think they then revise them to being one whole piece and then back to single. This side's a bit easier. There we go. So this is what I'm taking off these here. After doing this, I used Hylamar once again. Put the gasket on, cleaning up, ready for the throttle body gaskets, and do not use a metal scraper like this idiot. Oh, fingers. As you can see, this grommet here is really, really beaten up. It kind of sits like something like this, and I need a new one. It's 2.3 outside, pretty much 1 inside diameter. I've tightened these up, so that is on with the new gasket. That was from Simply Performance. The trick for this one, for me at least, for this hose coming off this pipe here, was to actually put the hose on the manifold piece here. Because what I did then was I slid it on, I then put the pipe down into it. It half came off at the bottom here and half popped on here, and then I kind of pushed it in and it worked. So I have got quite far with this. So these vacuum lines come into the back here. As you can see, there's a T-piece there, and that goes up to this here. I'm not quite sure what it is, but it goes up to there, and then it runs down there. And there's like a little ground here as well, so I've put that in there. The one closest to me here with the stripe goes down into this, I don't know if it's a sensor, that blue thing there. So that goes down there, and that has been bolted into place. It's quite hard to hold and show you, but that's been bolted into place under there. You see where it kind of goes from a light blue where my light is, and it goes up here with the blue. There's another piece coming off that, and that is what that goes into. And then you have two lines coming off of that. As you can see, one of them has got nothing on. That is because I've snapped it, and that is here. It's on a T-piece and it snaps. I need to water some. And that one runs all the way over. It will go underneath, by the way. It runs all the way over to this here, this piece here that has a nut there which keeps it in place. And then that will run, I think, by the looks of it, to the back of the distributor. That one there, that's where I believe it goes. There's then this other thing in here. That, I believe, also runs, does it run right from the top of this block here, right from the top, and it runs down across. It's really something that's quite confusing. It's hard with without another set of hands to show you where exactly it goes. But they all come up into here, which has been bolted in with that lead there for this sensor thing. This here, it's very, very hard to explain. Easiest thing is for me to put some diagrams up. Put some diagrams up now. They came really handy because it was quite a difficult thing to work out. There's so many under here that even I've forgotten after doing it just like 20 minutes ago where it all goes. Routing these can be difficult, so pause here to look at the diagram. The Jaguar XJS Facebook pages are also useful and friendly too, helping me find where to put the excess parts. Like this, the supplementary air valve. It goes into the back of the air intake, and I need to order a new grommet for it. This other sensor here, I have bolted it on here with this bracket, and by the looks of it, this one here, I've run it all the way over to, oh, where's it gone? Oh, it's gone into here, because that will sit over there. That is the cruise control bezel. I have put my coil in as well, because I thought I can just get some of these wires out the way. The amplifier is now on as well. As you can see, those are the wires for that. Don't know what that is yet, not quite sure. This here is for the coolant and the air temp sensors. And that, again, I'm not quite sure. I think that might link up to something on the fuel rail itself. There's also down there a sensor which has two black lines going into it. The one on the left, as I look at it now, is a fully black line, and the other one is a two-tone, like a white and a black. It is doable doing all of this after you put the manifold on, because it's quite hard to do it with the manifold off, just because there's so much under there and you'll knock it off putting the manifold on. As you can see, I've left the air filter and stuff out so that I can actually reach up underneath, and you can actually do most of it under here. Yes, it's a pain. It is a pain. I'm not going to say it's not, but it is doable because I've done it. Also under here, practically directly beneath this one, that line goes over to that piece there, that round one. It is a bit of a spaghetti junction, but it's actually not as hard as you might think. You see that kind of white and black thing here? That one runs underneath. That is that piece. If you do get stuck with that, I'm quite happy to, if I've still got the Jag at the time when you need the help, I'm quite happy to stick my arm under there and let you know where it runs. It's just one of those things that's just like, it's mad. It is just mad, but it does also make sense. Because what you'll find is you'll start moving stuff around. Best thing I can suggest is just going for it. Start with this here and then start just going, oh, that fits there. Oh, that fits there. Oh, that fits there. Because obviously the hoses are going to be a certain length so that they can reach certain things. Like I knew this one was probably for the distributor because I knew it would be underneath and it would reach to the back of it. So the next thing I need to do really is do the leads, because I need to work out what's going on with the timing here, because there's a lot of diagrams that show this is pointing towards bank B now, whereas actually it needs to start at bank A. If you look on my distributor, someone has marked it with white, and also on the cap. You see there's one here, I'm guessing that's A, and that the 2 marks is B. So that would mean that that's bank A and that's bank B. But I don't think that's right. And yet someone sent me a diagram and it showed that as being bank B and that's being bank A. And yet other diagrams show this as A and that was B. So I don't actually know what's going on. So I am trying to work it out because obviously I don't want to do it wrong, but also that is more pointed towards, if that was A, to like A2. So I'm not sure. I just don't know. I just don't understand. I'm really confused. I'll have to work it out and let you know what I come up with. You join me a few days later and I have now got the T-piece that I snapped for the Jag. So I'll put the name up now and you can see where I got that from. The code is, if you need it, C15644. And that is what's going to go on this here. I had to get the snap pieces out of the vacuum lines using this pick. Unfortunately, some wouldn't come out, so I used these to remove them, but sliced the line in the process. But for today, I had to make progress, so getting the T in, routing it correctly, and fixing the other vacuum lines to it. I used some sealant to temporarily fix any leaks. Well, that's not ideal because those vacuum lines have now got tears right at the end of them. I was like, oh no, really? And I haven't got any spares, so I'm gonna have to order some. But what I've done for a minute is just put some sealant in them and then wrap them up with some electrical tape and hope just for now it'll be enough just to be able to get the car running, hopefully tonight. I would like to get all the leads in. Get the distributor cap back on, which is nice and easy because it's just here. I can start here. I'm going to assume this is 1A and it'll come down to here. Just going to give it a go. That's all I can do. So all I do want to do is blow some of the rubbish that has come from the engine bay into the spark plug wells. I'm going to say it goes there. I'll soon know, won't I, when it doesn't start. After guessing that vacuum line goes there, it was time to do up the AC compressor. 2 bolts in the back and a couple in the front. Cruise control bezel back in place and HT leads in order. Fuel rail hoses re-hosed using IPA to help the process. I found I couldn't get the ferrules on too, so opted for fuel hose clamps instead. So as you can see, the rail has been put in and I was struggling to get these all to line up because every time that I put one in, one would be dropping below where it needs to be and then it would pop to the side and I'd have to lift, say, that side up and then this side would pop out. So what I ended up doing was doing this. Starting from the back, I'd push down a little bit and then just get a nut on there. Don't put the washer on, just get the nut on there. And then I did the same with this side and I worked the whole way like this, all the way along. And it just meant that we had a surface where we could kind of, as we go along, pop them into the spot where the injector needs to go and then work our way forward. That has worked. As you can see on this side, I have now put them in, haven't torqued them up or anything, just put them in, tightened it up, and they're all sitting pretty much where they need to be. This side might need a little bit of adjustment as we go along. However, I don't have a piece for the nut to go onto here, as you can see, because it's here. So as you can see, that goes down into it and that is stuck on the top and it's obviously pulled it out. Yeah, see, the problem is that it keeps spinning. It still keeps spinning, pretty much no matter what I do. That's real tight. Yeah. Just keeps spinning. Having no luck, I put the screw and the nut in place and then used the nut as a bolt itself by pushing down on it. It worked, now time to tighten the rest. The hose here to the fuel pressure regulator B was too long, so I recut it. Still too bloody long. 3rd time's the charm. Old fuel line out, using the Mr. Injector hose, a new one is cut to size and installed. Fuel pressure regulator A, hose installed. AC belt tightened. Throttle pedestal in. This sensor put on the rail. Coolant and air temp sensors plugged in. And the throttle arm things clipped back into place. But there's a problem. I really don't know what's going on with this. Because obviously what happens is it opens up like this. As you can see, you might be able to see here, the catch it goes into will be there on both sides, so it will stay open. I'm gonna have to look it up online. Oh my God, I've just embarrassed myself a treat. So, I haven't even put the microphone on because I'm just so shocked what I've just done. Answer to why these are reaching too far. It's because that should be there, that one should be there. Oh my God, honestly, it's just these simple things, isn't it, sometimes, where you just lose your mind over it. Oh my God, can't believe I've done that. Like, posted that online. People are going to see that. But, to be fair, whenever I do anything online, I'm like, oh my God, that was ridiculous. How did I not know that? I always leave it on there, because someone will do the same, and then they won't have to go through the embarrassment that I do. So it's not going back. It's staying stuck there with the accelerator pedal. Yeah, see, it's just going to the bottom and not returning. I think I've now worked out what the springs were for that I didn't reinstall because I didn't know what they were for. Oh my God, no, what's this? I just found a random vacuum line down here. I'm not sure that's part of anything that I've done. Wow, there's the rest of the alternator belt from back along. Right, that's it. I'm too eager to know whether it's going to start, so I'm just going to start it. I'm going to leave the spring for now, because I can just do it from here if I need to, like this. Just do it manually. My biggest worry is that the firing order's not right. That could be very loud if it goes bang, because the last time I did that, one of my centre boxes blew up. And with the face of a man who is confident in himself, I gave it a go. Remember, it's sat for a while, there's no fuel anywhere. Ooh, oh wait, no wait. I'll put the fuel pump relay back in. Oh, here's the fuel pump relay. Why is there zilch? It's not even attempting, is it? Is the timing totally backwards and that's why it won't start? Or do I try some easy start? Maybe I'll try it with the other coil. I've just noticed this line's broken off. What is that? Okay, that's just the mount. I'll put that there. Oh, it looks like a fuse of some sort. What the hell is this? So I've got absolutely no idea what that is. It looks a bit like some kind of fuse, but this piece here has come off. Cool, so I got it out. I pushed this little pick thing in and it popped out. It's just a spade connector on the end. With not very much left for a wire. Even if this is just for now until I find out exactly what it is. Oh, that's on the side of the AC. Probably wouldn't stop the car from running, but you never bloody know. And these, therefore, are negative. Oh, for Christ's sake, that's just come out. It's just going to confuse me if I start losing bits off everything. Right, that's it. Give it a try. If that isn't it, I'm going home. Last attempt tonight. I'm going home. So I'm going home. That's it, I'm going home. I'm going home. I'll see you next time. I'm so tired.